If your business is growing, but you're still attracting clients that don't quite feel like the right fit, or you know that there are better clients out there that you want to work with, but they are not coming in, this is where we need to look closer at your messaging. Welcome to Seven Figure Copy, the show where we refine your messaging so it reflects the level you're now operating at with clarity and confidence. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for established, expert-led female business owners who know their work is exceptional but suspect their website and sales copy may be underselling the caliber of what they deliver. In each episode, we'll explore how strategic, ethical copy elevates your website, sales pages, and core messaging so your words communicate trust before someone ever books a consult or starts a conversation with you. If you're ready for a trusted partner who helps you clearly articulate what you do and why it matters, then you're in the right place. Now, before we dive into today's episode, I want to make sure that you grab the private podcast episode that I put together just for you called What I Notice Immediately When I Look at an Established Business Owner's Messaging That I Don't Say Publicly. I want you to get this and I want you to listen because what I walk through there will give you a completely different lens as you go into listening to this episode. You can grab the link to gain access to the private podcast episode in the show notes or go directly to whitehousesm.com/private podcast. And if you haven't listened to part 1 of this 6-part series, because this is part 2, go back and listen to episode 1 today. All right, let's get into it. Hey everybody, it's Gina Whitehouse here. I am your expert conversion copywriter, messaging strategist, and host of the 7-Figure Copy podcast. So we are in the middle of a 6-part series. And in the last episode, we talked about why fixing your copy may not be actually solving the real problem anymore. And if you listen to that, you may have thought, okay, then what is actually happening? So this might be where you start to feel a little uncomfortable, and it's okay. But I want you to know that what I often see at this stage for established business owners, it's not that just the messaging is off. It's actually that the messaging is kind of like costing you the clients that you really want to work with. Now, I know this can be difficult. It can be difficult to step back and look at because the fact is that you're still getting inquiries, right? You're still getting people who are coming to you saying they want to purchase. You're still getting clients and customers, but it's the quality of those clients and customers that is off. And also might be that it's not just the quality, but they're just taking a longer time to say yes. So you may have seen that at the beginning of your business, you had people saying yes, and you had a steady flow come in. But over time, as your offers have changed, perhaps even your target audience has changed, and you start to see the quality of the clients and customers that are coming to you, or the, the ease of them coming and saying yes change. You may have seen over the last few months or the last year that it's become more difficult. And so when your foundational messaging has not caught up to where you are now, there are 4 things that I want to talk about today that are consequences of that action. There are 4 things that are consequences, the consequences of not recalibrating your messaging and your copy to where you are now in your business and what you're offering. So let's talk about consequence 1, and this is the wrong clients and customers. The first thing that happens is you start attracting people who really aren't quite the right fit anymore. When I say that, I think like I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. Okay. And this has even happened with my business before. These are the things that I start to see. I start to see that, or you may have started to see that you need to do more convincing to get people to say yes to buy your offer. You may see that they have more questions that they're asking you, and you also might see more hesitations or objections in those conversations that you're having. So right now you might be thinking, well, it's just the market. Things have changed. The economy has changed. But a lot of times it's actually not that. It's how your messaging is actually positioning your work. So when there's a mismatch and things aren't calibrated together, that's when you start to feel that friction. It's the convincing, the more questions, more hesitations and such. Okay. And And when it comes down to it, it's how your message is positioning your work. It's that mismatch that's bringing you those wrong clients, not the people that you want to work with. The second consequence is that the right clients aren't converting. You're having conversations with those good fit people, but they're not always moving forward. And oh my gosh, I know this can be so frustrating. It can be because they're landing on your website, they're landing on your sales pages. But to them, nothing feels clear enough for them to say yes. And the hardest part about this is that you don't see those people that leave, right? They're not like going to your webpage and they're contacting you and say, hey, by the way, I saw your webpage, but I'm leaving because it's not clear enough. No, right? You only end up seeing the ones that reach out, and it's not many of them. Okay. If you've ever thought, my business has evolved, but my website still feels pieced together, or my expertise is strong, but my messaging doesn't reflect the level I operate at, I want you to know right now that you're not alone. Every established business owner reaches this point where your growth just outpaces your message. And when your message doesn't match the offer or the service you provide now, it costs you credibility, clarity, and premium opportunities. So I'm here today to tell you that I want to help you go from second guessing how you're presenting your offers and expertise to showing up online with messaging that feels cohesive and aligned with the caliber of your work. Today, I'm inviting you to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me to determine whether you need a strategic copy audit or high converting done for you copy that finally reflects the level you're operating at. Go to the show notes today to book your call or visit www.whitehousesm.com. So when your foundational messaging and even just your copy, the words that you have on your page are not calibrated to where you are now, what happens is that those right clients don't convert. The third consequence is that you start overworking your sales. So imagine this. This is what happens next is that you start compensating in your sales process, or like overcompensating, right? So you might find yourself right now over-explaining more on calls that you have with people. You may find yourself clarifying things that should already be clear. Like you're thinking, this should already be on my website. Doesn't it say this? Or like, why are they asking me this? I thought I clearly wrote this out on the sales page. You may even find yourself adjusting your offers in real time. And that's frustrating and that's confusing and that's hard to keep up with, frankly, right? If you're changing your pricing or changing your offer and what it is, it's hard. I know it's hard for me to remember if I tell one person something and then I told another person something different. Okay. So when it comes down to it, it's starting to feel like you're doing more work, right? You feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again, but you're getting different results or you're getting lower results. And that causes just a lot of frustration, which can cause you to overcompensate and overwork in the sales process. All right. So where does this all end up? It ends up in consequence number 4, and that is where your confidence drops. And I hate to see this. I think we've all been there. I understand it, but I hate to see it in my clients. And what it looks like is just like over time, this starts to affect how you feel about your messaging and your business, right? You start second guessing not only your messaging and the words that you have, and you start tweaking, but you start to just really feel not confident about your business and what you're doing. You know, you're wondering, oh, should I even be doing this? Like, do people still want this anymore? You know, is it me? Is it the market? Is it my messaging? What is it? Right? You're starting to wonder again, is it clear enough? And then you go back and you find yourself in the tweaking loop again. And it's not a good place to be because it just feels like it never stops, right? So as I wrap this up, I want you to know that this is not just about fixing your copy, right? Because fixing your copy only gets you so far and it isn't solving the problem. It's just like what we talked about in part 1, episode 51. If you go back there and listen, if you haven't, please go and listen because I talk about the difference between copy and messaging and how your messaging is the foundation of your business. And so if you keep tweaking the copy, right, and you think about it as a house and your copy are all the things that you're building on top of your foundation, if you keep doing that on a foundation that isn't correct, you know, your foundation isn't built correctly, it doesn't have a solid foundation, it's all going to crumble, okay? It needs to match. Your copy and your messaging needs to match. So I want you to think of it this way right now. Your messaging, it's actively shaping who you attract, who walks away, and how easy it is to sell. And these 4 consequences that I gave you today, it's kind of like a litmus test. I want you to ask yourself, are you kind of like suffering from any of these things, right? Consequence 1 is you're getting the wrong clients. Number 2 is that you're meeting the right clients, but they're not converting into your business and your offers. I mean, the third thing that you might be saying is that you're starting to overwork your sales process. And the fourth thing is now that you just really don't have the confidence. It becomes almost like emotional mental thing. You know, you're second guessing everything, and you're even second guessing your business and what you're doing because you just don't know what to do next and you don't know how to fix it. So in the next episode 53, it's coming next week, I want to show you what changes when this is actually recalibrated. And what I mean, what changes when your messaging and your copy and where you are now in your business, the level you're at in your business now, is recalibrated so that it all matches together. Because once your messaging starts matching the level you're operating at, that's when you're going to start to see everything shift. Don't forget, I created the short private podcast episode for you that doesn't live here publicly, okay? You have to go to my website to get it. So go to whitehousesm.com/private podcast. I'm going to walk you through what I noticed right away when I look at a business's messaging that makes people leave. And these are things, I'm just really blunt. Okay. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm really blunt in the episode. I'm not sugarcoating it. So go to that page and get it, or go to the show notes and you can click there and it will take you to the private podcast. And if you're at a point right now where you're thinking, yes, Gina, like I feel those 4 things, or at least one of the 4 things that you talked about, either you've lost confidence or you're seeing those people out there that you want to buy from you, those right people, but you're having a really hard time getting them to say yes, please reach out and book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me. You'll find the link in the show notes to do that, or you can go to my website and you'll see the button at the top on the homepage to book a call with me. It's complimentary. And we can talk through, like, what are your struggles right now? Let's look at what you've got going. Let's learn a little bit. I'd love to learn a little bit more about your business and see what the right next step is going forward for you so we can get things recalibrated. All right. Well, I'm excited to talk to you next week in the next episode 53, and where we're going to talk about what actually happens when things get recalibrated. So excited to see you there. Have a great week. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on this episode of 7-Figure Copy. If this conversation resonated and you know that your messaging, that your copy is not matching the caliber of the wonderful work that you do, then please reach out to me at whitehousesm.com to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat. Let's see if we're the right fit for each other and if I'm the right conversion copywriter for you. And I'll see you next time.
This podcast is produced, mixed, and edited by Cardinal Studio. For more information about how to start your own podcast, please visit www.cardinalstudio.co or email Mike at mike@cardinalstudio.co. You can also find the details in the show notes.